Well, hey everyone, my name is Nathan Jones, and if you're new here, welcome. I like to talk about all things movies, specifically Blu-rays, and today we're going to be talking about Vinegar Syndrome in the halfway to Black Friday sale that just happened about a month ago. I finally got these discs in, and I've seen half of them actually. I got them at the end of the week last week, and I watched a few, so I can talk a little bit about them as well, but I'm also just really excited to dive into them. But before we jump into that, there's a few things I want to talk about. First and foremost is this week, this is actually going to be replacing my kind of end of the month question prompt series. I'm going to be trying to post that next week sometime at the very beginning of the week. So, sorry for the week of gap on that, but there's a lot planned this week. There's a lot going on. So yesterday, I had the film journey with Dylan Hryciuk on the channel, and I hope you can go check that out. That was a phenomenal conversation. I really was really excited to have Dylan on, and I hope you enjoyed that conversation as well. This week we have a few other things coming up in the works. I have a Shawscope discussion with a friend. I also have some Criterion recommendations coming up as well, because there's a sale coming up in July. But the biggest news I have for you is that in the first 2 weeks of July, this week, at the very end of the weekend, I'm actually heading overseas. I'm heading overseas to England, into Ireland, and also to Scotland. So I'm going to be gone for a few weeks, and I have some things already, pre-planned, and I'm going to have some things on the channel. I'm obviously going to take some, some footage of some things. I'm going to meet some friends. You might see some familiar faces along the way, but yeah, this is the first time I'm saying it on the channel. So yeah, I'm going overseas, and I'm super excited to just get out of here for a bit, right? And just have a good holiday. So yeah, so I can't wait to showcase that and show some footage for it for all of you. All right, so enough blabber. I want to talk about some Vinegar Syndrome pickups that I got here. But before we jump into this, I want to know, were you able to jump into this Vinegar Syndrome halfway to Black Friday sale? So for me, I'm very new to this, so I've only had a few titles here and there from a few sales ago. I want to be special shout out to Aaron Penn, Jose at Master Chaos TV, and then also Ryan Disconnected, who really is the one who really pushed me in the edge to get a lot of these discs, and having a good conversation over on his channel. That was a really fun time. So, but anyway, yeah, I want to know, what did you pick up during the sale? I would love to know in the comment section down below. So let's actually jump into titles. I'm going to start off with the 4 that I had seen, and then I'll kind of just end with the 4 titles I picked up and the reasons why I picked it up. So the first one that I picked up right here, and these are all the slipcover. I got a lot of the partner labels, actually. This one is from, I guess, ETR Media. And this is Scream Queen, which is My Nightmare on Elm Street. So this is the documentary on Nightmare on Elm Street 2, and I love this slipcover right here, right? The claws are out. So as a lot of people know, this film right here is the gayest horror movie ever made, as some have called it. But for Mark Patton, who is the star of Nightmare on Elm Street 2, this was a nightmare, right? It kind of shut down his career. And outed him when he wasn't ready for it. The culture wasn't ready for it. In fact, the culture still might not be ready for it, unfortunately. But he was comfortable enough to make this documentary, kind of explore his thoughts in the process of, and honestly talk to the fans, and then also talk to the cast and crew, the people who worked with him and collaborated with him, and even the writer who kind of betrayed him in a sense. So it's a really great documentary. I really loved it. Yeah, this just goes all the way back to that 1985 film, and just really looks at all of that stuff. And it is incredibly an emotional journey, and it is a great documentary. I'm so glad that I picked it up. I remember hearing about this not too long ago, and I'm so glad I was finally able to watch it. And it's got a lot of great special features, of course, too, right there on this side. I watched some of those. There's even like a music video, which is really fun, by Split Second by Skeleton Head. Some commentary here, which I hadn't seen. Backstage with Scream Queen, Bedtime Story with Mark Patton, a tribute to Wes Craven, which is really cool. Fireside chat with the cast of Freddy's Revenge, which is a great, and also a little bit very open-ended conversation here. But yeah, there's a lot of other things. Femininity and horror film panel discussion, that's a really great conversation. The Monster is Queer, a look at horror genre studies with Dr. Andrew Scahill, and then some opening scenes, some alternate stuff in the trailer. So definitely a great pickup, and yeah, a great film that is been obviously reevaluated, and I'm super glad it is finally out. So that was the first film that I watched. Second is another documentary that I picked up, and this is from Utopia, another partner label, and this is for Mad Men Only. And live on stage in person, Dr. Dracula's Living Nightmare, which is the story of course, we have Del Close, and Del Close is that man right there, that crazy madman, who was kind of an institutional person in a little bit, and institution in the sense that he also built an institution in impromptu kind of comedy. And also, this is the guy, I'll just read the back, mentor to everyone from Bill Murray to Tina Fey. Just kind of looks at his autobiography through DC Comics. He was a comic book artist as well, and it leads us through all the things that were around him, and how crazy he actually was, and starting this impromptu theater in Chicago. And just this is a really cool documentary because it kind of just looks at there's recreations with some actors, some comedians that you'll recognize, and it's just kind of crazy to see all these different stories kind of going back and forth. And so yeah, it's a fun film, and it's a really great documentary. There's some really cool special features. Of course, there's Amy Poehler right there, Odenkirk. We have Jason Sudeikis here, and there's just a lot of people here involved. So it was a lot of fun watching this as well. So yeah, I got For Mad Men Only, another great documentary I checked out. All right, so moving right along to a different partner label here is DG and Doppelganger releasing, and I actually picked up right here, Heavy Trip, and right there, this is just right up my alley. I'm a big metalhead. And the band in this Finnish black metal, death metal, actually it's symphonic, post-apocalyptic, reindeer grinding, Christ-abusing, extreme war, pagan, Finno-Scandian metal. But this band's called Impaled Rectum, as you can see right here on this alternate cover. I love this slipcover. This is super heavy, of course, and there's the film itself. This came out a few years ago, actually. It came out in 2019, I believe, and I'm so happy to have this. This is a fantastic film. This is definitely a personal one for me because I'm like I said, I love metal, so a lot of this hits home really hard. It's like watching Metalocalypse for me. Is like, this makes complete sense to me. But I love it. It's a good comedy. There's even a fight with a Wolverine. There's a lot of really great moments, some really awkward moments, of course, because metal is awkward, right? That's always what it is. And some really great music. This is actually some of the heaviest music I've seen on film. And there's a really great song that they craft at the beginning, which leads them on their journey from Finland to Norway, trying to get into a festival. And that's kind of where it all leads eventually to, which is really great. So I highly recommend Heavy Trip. Obviously, I'm very biased. I love it. This is really fun. Impaled Rectum, great name for a band. Yeah, this is a lot of fun. This is one of my favorite releases I picked up so far. All right, so the last film that I watched, and I watched this today, is the 4K, and this is from Vinegar Syndrome, of Dead Heat. And I love this release right here. So there is the back. You can't keep a good cop dead. Oh man, these two, I swear. So it's a buddy cop film with Treat Williams and Joe Piscopo. Right there, there is the 4K itself of the original. You Can't Keep a Good Cop Dead, like I said. This is a really good buddy cop film from 1988, and I love the effects in this film. The effects in the score are the top-notch ones. Obviously, there's some really weird lines delivered. You'd expect that from like a late 80s action horror film, because this is a dead cop, right? This is Dead Heat. So this is about like a zombie cop, or a cop that is come back to life because there is some tomfoolery going on with a particular company, and some chemicals reanimating some corpses and using them as body I guess henchmen to do some bidding and some nasty stuff. But it's really cool. I really love the effects in this film. This was a lot of fun. I expected it kind of going in to be kind of like Big Showdown in Little Tokyo, something along those lines, and I was definitely pleasantly surprised by it. It was like that meets like Lethal Weapon, but meets like a horror film, right? And that's what was so fun about this film. And I'm really glad that they got the 4K of this, because it looks really great. But yeah, it's definitely, like I said, it's schlocky as all get out, and it's certainly worth your time. There's a lot of really great special features, which I actually have not been able to really jump into, but I am excited to jump more into this because there's a lot of new interviews and some commentaries, of course, and yeah, this is a new restoration of the 35 original millimeter of negative right here. So Dead Heat, really fantastic pickup. I'm really glad that I got it. This is a lot of fun, and I definitely would recommend you checking it out. All right, so now we're going to get to the portion of stuff that I haven't seen before yet, but I'm excited to check out. And the first one I want to bring up is another Vinegar Syndrome. It's actually the last one from Vinegar Syndrome themselves, and it is the new New York Ninja box set right here on Blu-ray. This is awesome. I love this. This is like Beastmaster. I have that over there. That's on 4K, and so this is right there. New York Ninja, of course. This is a film that has quite a story to it, which I will describe in just a second. But there is the Blu-ray itself with the alternate cover, of course, just like the cover of this. But let me read this. Originally directed by and starring martial arts actor Jean Liu. In his only American production, New York Ninja was filmed entirely on 35mm in 1984, but the project was abandoned during production, resulting in all the original sound materials being lost over time. 35 years later, Vinegar Syndrome acquired the original unedited camera negative and then painstakingly constructed and completed the film. So all those people put it together. Vinegar Syndrome put this together because the sound was gone, and they made this film and they reproduced it. And yeah, wow, that's an incredible story. That is such a weird story to hear about this particular release. But so there is actually, this is a really cool release, like I said, with this box set, because I love New York Ninja right there. Just seeing that artwork, but also here's the behind the scenes, kind of like the story of how it came to be. So I can't wait to read this pamphlet and read just kind of how they just got this all together. And then also just watching all the special features in the film itself, right? Because there's going to be a lot of special features on this disc. Just talking about the behind the scenes and recreating this entire film, making of documentary with cast and crew, redirecting New York Ninja, interview with the director and the redirector and rewriter. So that is just so cool to me that they were able to put something like this out. This is one of the biggest things that I think Vinegar Syndrome has done in quite some time. But yeah, I'm very excited for this release. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I expect it to be pretty nonsensical, and that's exactly what I want. All right, so this next film is considered probably one of the best of the lineup that I have here, and I still haven't seen it yet, but this came out not that long ago. This came out in 2020, so it's only 77 minutes, but I heard it's quite the ride. And it is Shiva Baby, and this is from Utopia, and I'm very excited for this release. I know that Sam had talked it all up. Film blogger Sam had talked a lot about it, but very excited about this. I haven't even opened it yet, but it's about a sugar daddy, and there's this really awkward moment that comes all together. But like I said, I don't know much about it, but I've heard it's intense, and I've heard it's a really fantastic film. But it has a lot of really cool special features. It has a red band trailer, commentary, and some Q&A, and a double-sided poster inside. So very excited to check this one out. This one I'll watch very, very soon because it's only 77 minutes, but I've heard nothing but great things about this particular film. All right, so next I'm going to bring up another Utopia picture. This is a documentary, and one that was definitely capturing my eye, and I know that Ryan brought it up and thought I would really like this one. But this is Martha, A Picture Story right there, and it actually comes with a picture of hers, a postcard. This I can understand why you're getting postcards, because this is an actual story about a photographer. I like this. This is how you do postcards, if only if it's about a photographer. But anyway, really cool to have this. But this is in the 1970s. Martha Cooper captured some of the first images of graffiti at the time when the city had declared war on it. So this is a story of her journey and capturing that particular time and space, and redirecting, I guess, the idea of art and graffiti and where you live. And I am just super intrigued by this one. This came out also in 2020, so not that long ago, but I love this artwork. This is just a stunning little look right here, and I can't wait to check out more of this film, yeah, get my thoughts later on when I check it out. All right, and the last film that I have is one from Deaf Crocodile, and this is another film that was definitely recommended from Ryan that I was really interested in, and it is The Unknown Man of Chandigore right here. This is directed by Jean-Louis Roy, and it is a Swiss film, I think, Swiss spy thrill, Cold War spy thriller right here, and kind of in the vein of Dr. Strangelove, and part Alphaville, and shows like The Avengers and Doctor Who. So I'm very excited about this one. I really don't know much about this, and this is definitely one of the weirder releases that I expect from Vinegar Syndrome, or the partner labels in general, which is why, this is why I like the diversity of the partner labels. So very excited about this release, and this one, it seems, from Deaf Crocodile has a ton of special features right here. It looks like this is a new 4K restoration from the original 35mm. So this film came out in 1967, which is a great year. It's one of my favorite years of films. So I'm very excited to check this one out and learn more about some Cold War, some thrillers, and I always love that stuff. So anyway, that's what I picked up for the Vinegar Syndrome sale, the halfway to Black Friday sale. I can't wait to jump in and do this more. This is a company, like I said, that I am a little bit hesitant. I really don't know where to start. So I definitely would recommend, like I said, Aaron Penn, Master Chaos TV, and my friend Disconnected. These are some great people and great folks. There's a lot of other people out there talking about this company and all the different partner labels that exist, and they have really good knowledge on it. But I definitely am so thankful for jumping into this release. And anyway, that being said, I would love to know what you got in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching this video. Like I said, there's a really great week coming up along the way, and then also I'm going overseas, so I'll go do that and have some good times and share that with you soon. So anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Give it a like, comment down below, share, hit the notification bell, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. I'm not jonesing around.